I even sat on the window ledge once and I was like, I'm just going to jump from here. I'm just going to jump because there is no point anymore. Hi, my name's Veena V and I am the founder of Mum to Millionaire. This is the place if you want to excel in business and life. I was supposed to start this series about a month ago, and it's, as you know, if you've been through difficult, challenging things in your life, it's really hard to, number one, even tell anyone about it, but number two, to actually make a video and talk about it and then upload it to YouTube. So I'm just happy that I'm here now. If you haven't watched the intro video, that might be a good idea first. If you click on that little card that comes up right now, and that explains what behind closed doors is. And today I'm talking to you about my experience with postnatal depression. Now, with depression as a whole, there's just so many different scales of it, if you want to call it that. You might get some people who literally cannot get out of bed. They are in this physical depression, they can't get out of it. And there's another aspect to it where it's not depression, it just might be you're feeling really low. So after I had postnatal depression, there were times when I felt very low, but I knew it wasn't depression because, well, I'm going to explain to you what happened to me. I just really hope this video is going to be useful to someone who is going through postnatal depression right now. So I want to rewind to when I was 21 years old. I found out I was pregnant. Massive, complete shock. It was completely unplanned. I had actually just split up with the father of my child, and then I found out I was pregnant, and I was like, oh no, this is not good. So that was that was probably the most difficult times of my life in terms of making a decision whether or not I will go through with the abortion or not. Again, I can do another video explaining that kind of situation and why I decided not to have an abortion. So at the age of 21, I had just won an award from Channel 4. I was working in the media industry. I was out every day. In the weekends, I was going out. I was kind of it wasn't the top of my career, but I felt like this is what I love doing. And then I found out I was pregnant, and then I got a job as a receptionist. So I left my job on the 8th of May 2009. I moved house on the 9th of May 2009. I moved from London back up to where my parents live in Oxfordshire. And then on the 11th of May, my son decided to come 1 month early and I gave birth. As soon as I gave birth, I was instantly so protective of my son, like instantly. But all this kind of, and I loved him, but it wasn't this overwhelming looking at him thinking, oh my God, I love you so much. Like, I loved him, but I really think my postnatal depression started literally the minute after I gave birth, because I can remember going up in the hospital and I just started crying. It wasn't crying because I was happy, it was crying because I did not want to stay in that hospital alone with my son. I just did not want it. I just wanted to be around my mum and dad. I wanted to be around my friends. One of my best friends was there. I did not want to stay in that hospital by myself with my son. Like, I did not want it. But obviously everyone had to go and I was just left there. And I just, obviously, as a new mum, I didn't know what the hell to do. I was like there thinking, I don't know how to look after this child. And he kept crying all night, all night. I just kept, I literally pressed the buzzer in the hospital. And I was like, said to the nurse, I don't know what to do. Like, he keeps crying. And I can remember just watching her how she changed his nappy, because I did not know how to even change a nappy. I was so in shock that I'd gone into labour kind of a month before my due date that it was weird. And I think this was also a factor in the postnatal depression, because from being that person that was out constantly, can you imagine, I had just finished working 2 days before and then bang, I gave birth, and my life, and you know what it's like your life completely changes. So a few days later I went back home, and I just found it really, really challenging. Even though I had moved back in with my mum and dad, they were constantly working, they were at work, so I was left by myself with my son, and I just found it so lonely. And I don't want people to watch this and think I'm ungrateful at all. Like, I love my son so much. And kind of a tip for you now is to tell somebody. I did not tell anybody at all how I was feeling. I didn't tell the midwife when they were doing their appointments. I didn't tell my mum and dad. And if they watch this, this will be heartbreaking for them, because I was living with them and they did not have a clue how I felt or what was going on in my head. And I was just so good at hiding it from everybody. Anytime I saw my friend, anytime I'd be on the phone to people, I think I was even making YouTube videos around that time. Like, no one would have guessed at all. Even my own parents, they are actually at work in mental health. They didn't even have a clue that their own daughter was going through that. And I think a lot of people, if you're maybe you know, maybe if you've got a friend who's just had a baby, just really check in on them and just ask them, are they okay? And just ask them to even tell you the truth, because a lot of people like me are extremely good at hiding it from people, because you don't want to be a burden. You don't want to tell people how you're feeling because you feel guilty, because you've just given birth to your child. And that's just, I just felt I couldn't tell people how I was feeling because my son is happy, he's healthy. I didn't want to tell people I was feeling depressed or sad or lonely, because why should I? You know, I just felt, I just didn't want to tell anyone. And I'm sure a lot of other mums, you might understand completely what I'm saying right now, but what I want to tell you is you have to tell somebody. If you're scared about talking to your midwife, talk to a doctor or talk to a friend. Just please talk to someone. I really wish I talked to someone and I didn't. And if there's one thing you take away from this video, I really just want you to tell at least one person. So this feeling lasted for a very long time actually, and that's why I've done this series called Behind Closed Doors, because I think a lot of stuff that's happened to me has kind of intertwined with one another, because I don't think postnatal depression is supposed to last for that long, and I was feeling really depressed for a very long time due to other things that are happening in my life as well, and that will be my next video actually about domestic abuse. I'll talk about that in the next video in this series. You know, I was having these feelings and it got so bad where I wanted to kill myself. I was having suicidal thoughts where I would be in the room and I would just look at the window and I was like, I'm just gonna jump from this window. I even sat on the window ledge once and I was like, I'm just gonna jump from here. I'm just gonna jump because there is no point anymore. I'm really sorry for getting emotional because and I know some of you might write, oh, you know, don't be sorry, but I am, because I want to help people and talk about stuff in a, I know this is going to sound really weird, but try and talk about stuff in a non-emotional way, because then I know I'll be able to help people more. This video is not going to help anyone with me doing this. There was another time when I was in London at the tube station, at a station called Mile End, and my son was in his pushchair, and I can remember you know how the tubes go so fast, and I was like, I can just end this now. I just thought in my head, I could just jump in front of this train and that's it. I even went through the whole thought process of, right, my son's in his pushchair, I'm going to turn him around. I'm just going to turn him around in the pushchair so he can't see what's going to go on. Anyway, I think you probably get the idea of what went on and all these suicidal thoughts I was having. You know, I just hope this video helps you in some way. Like, now kind of listening back to what I've said, I don't even know if this is going to help anyone, but I really hope it does, to realise that you are not alone. And I'm really sorry that I can't give you more tips. So many mums go through this. So many mums go through this. So please realise, number one, you're not alone. You are not. There's so many of us here that can help you and support you, and realise the feelings that you have. They are normal. Yes, you're going to have so many mums that don't go through this and are constantly happy and showing, you know, lovely pictures with them and their baby. And even if you are seeing that on social media, just realise you don't know what's going on in their own house. You don't know what's going on in their mindset. Even with me, I had pictures of me and my son smiling. Of course, I had so many happy memories, but then I would get these feelings constantly. So even though, yes, from the outside, I was getting on with motherhood, everything looked fantastic. Every time people would see me in pictures or in videos, whatever it was, out and about, I was always happy. I've always been a constantly happy and positive person. But I was having these times, it might last for an hour in the day. It might have lasted for the whole day, when I was having these suicidal thoughts or just feelings of feeling very, very depressed on what was going on in my life. What I would love for you to take away from this video, and I just mentioned it, is you're not alone. You're really not. Please remember that. Number two, please talk to someone. It doesn't have to be, and this is another reason, I'll be really honest with you, a reason why there were so many times I did want to talk to the midwife. I did want to, it's not, sorry, I've been saying midwife, health visitor. So many times I wanted to talk to my health visitor, and the reason I didn't is because I did not want them to take my son away from me. I was so scared of that, and now I know that's not the case. I know your health visitor is not going to take your child away, but if you are feeling like how I was feeling, I would highly suggest that you do try and talk to someone in the medical field, whether it be a doctor, a nurse maybe. Just talk to someone. And if you really don't want to talk to a doctor, then talk to a friend. Just talk to someone else who's maybe been through it, or just talk to anybody. That would be my second tip for you. Number three, you will get through it. I don't let postnatal depression, I don't let any kind of form of depression define who I am, and it's not defining you. You will get through it, but you need to get the help and support around you. So please do that, and just realise that, just look at me, like I got through it. I got through all forms of kind of depression. So if I can do it, so can you. But you just need to put all these tips and steps into practice. So please just seek out that help, somebody to talk to. You can even talk to me. You can drop me a message through my Facebook page, or any way you can contact me. I will leave all my social media links below, so don't feel that you can't reach out to me, because I would love to help you in some way. I'm not a counsellor, but I don't know, maybe you sharing your story of me, that might help you in some way. Also realise that you're going to have good and bad days. I had so many good days. I wasn't crying every single day. I was having fun with my son at the same time. Before you give birth, just try and put some kind of social circle around you, whether that be with trying to make friends with other pregnant people at the same time, or maybe other mums or dads that you already know. Try and arrange stuff with them before you give birth, so you're not leaving yourself like I did, really kind of isolated and not knowing who to talk to, because like none of my friends were parents. Even now, a lot of my friends, they're not parents, so they're not gonna understand all the kind of mum stuff, and that's nothing against them, because I didn't understand the parent stuff, the mum stuff, before I became a mum. That doesn't mean you have to kind of dump your current friends. It's just trying to make new friends before you do give birth. Just people you can talk to going through that pregnancy process and the birth process after that. So just kind of put all these steps in place. I don't know, I just hope this has helped you in some small way. If you have any questions at all, I just hope I can, like I said, I can't help you medically, but from an experience point of view, I just really hope I can help you in some way. Do drop your comments below. If you've been through postnatal depression, maybe you know of, maybe you went to an organisation. If you can help in any way, people that are watching this video, and there might not be people that are gonna want to comment. If I haven't covered something in this video, just please do try try and write how maybe you got through postnatal depression, or maybe how your friends have, because that's really going to help other mums. So please do that. Like I said, sorry, I know this has been, I haven't got any notes here, and with all my YouTube videos I always have notes of what I'm going to say, but I just wanted to talk about my experience. Now, this is part of my series called Behind Closed Doors. I will be uploading another video next week about domestic violence, and again, my kind of experience of that, how I got through it, and my tips for you as well. And that will probably be a very difficult video for me to film, so I do want to apologise in advance, but I'm going to really try my best to get the information across so it can help you or help someone you know. Thank you so much for watching. If you do want to get notified about that video that I'm going to upload next week, you can hit that subscribe button down there, and you can click that bell as well, so when you click that bell you'll get notified when I do upload that video next week. Thank you for watching. I don't know what to say and how to end this video, because I just hope this has helped someone somewhere. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next week on Mum to Millionaire.